Hi everyone, so welcome back. So today we're going to be working through a sequence leading towards your variation of Hanumanasana, which is our full front splits. So in our splits pose, this can often be a pose that brings up a lot of emotions for people. So not only are we working deep in towards the hips and having that emotional release, it's also a pose that if you're kind of not in your full posture as it is, that it can bring up feelings of not feeling good enough, not feeling where you want your practice to maybe be. So as well as working through this sequence, we're going to try and work on also finding this feeling of acceptance within ourselves today. So accepting where you are right now in your practice and really enjoying the process, your process, and your own journey, wherever that may be right now. Okay, so it'd be good if you could have a strap, especially for the start, and also 2 blocks. And it might be quite good if you could just place your 2 blocks or something similar at the top of your mat. Okay, and when you're ready and you have everything prepared, then I'll meet you on the mat and we'll begin in a Shavasana today. So starting taking our feet to either corner of the mat, coming all the way down, taking your arms beside you, palms facing up to the sky, taking any little final wriggles, any little bit of movement that you need, and then closing down the eyes. Maybe taking a deep inhale, then exhaling it side out through the mouth. Allowing this breath to let you land on your mat. And start to notice any of the sounds around you. And then taking your focus more inwards now towards yourself. Maybe you can notice the clothes against your skin, the temperature of the body. And then starting to notice your breath, not changing it, but just observing. And start to invite a little bit more depth of that breath. So taking an inhale through the nose, breathing in through the belly, all the way up, expanding the ribs, breathing into the chest. And then as you exhale, exhaling through the nose, releasing that breath all the way back down through the chest, the ribs, the belly. And taking a couple more rounds of this 3-part breathing. Maybe you can start to take your hands towards your ribs. And as you continue this 3-part breathing, really focus on, as you inhale and exhale, what the ribs are doing here. Notice that lateral expansion through the body, creating space. Take a final breath here. And then just release it back to your gentle inhales and exhales through the nose. And when you're ready, gently blinking open the eyes. And we'll start to take a little bit of movement on the mat. So coming into Supta Hasta Padangusthasana. So drawing that left leg to center. Option to bend that left leg, having the foot placed on the mat. As you draw that right knee in towards your chest, interlace the hands around the shins. And just maybe give yourself a little bit of movement here. So it's taking some nice organic movement with what feels right for you. And coming to center, starting to extend that right leg up to the sky. So you can keep a bend in the leg if you need. Again, bending that left foot if you need to. And beginning to point and flex through the feet. Feeling a little bit of openness through the back of the leg. Maybe circling the ankles in one direction and then the other. And then either taking hold behind your thigh your calf ankle, or option to take a strap and interlace it around the center of the foot. Taking an inhale, drawing long through that left leg if it's extended on the ground. And then exhale, start to draw that right leg towards the torso. So this might be a really little micro movement. That's absolutely fine. Option to close down the eyes here as well if that feels better for you. Taking the practice a bit more inward. Really starting to feel that movement, that link to the breath. So inhaling, feeling that expanse, that space. And exhale, can you allow yourself to soften a bit? Maybe draw the leg a little bit deeper. Nice. Then option to stay here, or option to have your strap, or maybe holding on to the outside of the right leg. If you can, the right toe or the right side of the foot. Start to extend that right foot all the way out to the side. Maybe planting that left hand on the left hip here. So this can help ground you down. So instead of lifting up through the hip, we ground down and we find that nice opening. Option to turn your head over to the opposite side for a nice stretch through the neck. Also option to rest your foot on the door if you want to. And just breathe in here again, opting to close down the eyes. Just really noticing that space in your hips, especially if you're often quite tight here. And just really breathing into it. And just accepting where your leg wants to go. Don't feel like you need to force it down to the mat. Final breath. And take the leg all the way back to center. If it isn't already, drawing that left leg in, bending at the knee, and cross that right foot over, keeping foot flexed. Here might be enough. We're coming into our figure 4 stretch. Or draw that left leg in towards the body, interlace hands behind the left thigh. Inhale, prepare, and as you exhale, can you draw that left leg towards the torso? As you do this, can you keep that openness through that right hip? So this will help to create a deeper stretch through that outer hip here. And taking some nice nourishing breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Option to start to introduce your ujjayi breath here. That constant inhale, exhale through the nose, slight restriction of the throat. And release it down. Give it a little shake out if it needs to. We'll take the same on the other side. So whatever variation you took, maybe taking the same on this side. So first drawing the left knee in. Just taking some movements here. Just waking up the hips however they need to be. And then extend that left leg up towards the sky, pointing, flexing through that left foot. Again, just really starting to wake up the hamstrings here. Circling the ankle in one direction, and then reverse in the direction. Option to take your strap if you need, or holding on to the back of the leg, wherever feels right for you, or the ankle. Inhale, push away with that right foot if it's down on the ground. Create space, and as you exhale, can you gently start to draw that left leg towards the torso? Flexing through the feet, so the legs are a little bit active here. Closing down the eyes if you wish. And really breathing into any of that tension. Accepting that it's there and allowing yourself to soften on each exhale. And coming back to center, taking the strap or taking the left hand to the outside of the left leg or the left foot. Right hand comes down towards the right hip. And then start to open that left leg all the way out to the side, wherever feels comfortable for you. And then breathing into that space. Option to turn the gaze over towards the right side. Take a final breath here. Take your head back to center and then draw the leg all the way back up to center as well. If it isn't already, bending through that right leg, crossing the left foot over, figure four stretch left side, flex through the foot. Again, staying here, we'll draw the right leg towards the torso, interlace hands behind right shin, inhale, prepare. Exhale, gently start to encourage that right leg a little bit closer, and equally as you do this, pushing away, resisting with that left hip. Keeping that nice controlled breath. Breathing into the sensation of that outer hip stretch. Releasing where you can. And then blink open the eyes, take the legs back to center, then take the legs up high. So just taking a little bit of a shake off if you need, first of all. Then we're going to work for a little bit of core strength just before we start to move. So same thing as before. So it's like we're extending one leg up, and one leg this time is going to hover off the mat. And as we do this, lifting the shoulder blades off the mat, holding on to wherever feels right for you on the leg, and we're going to switch the legs and draw the leg in towards the torso, and we're going to take 12 of these. So when you are ready, inhale, and then exhale, take 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself any little movement here that you need through the lower body. And tucking your hands underneath your knees. Start to rock and roll up to a seat. Maybe taking a few little rocks on the back, massaging through the spine. And then when you get to seated, crossing over the legs, coming into your all fours position and walking your hands a little bit more forward. Tucking the toes, lifting the knees, send sit bones high. Come into your Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So using this first downward facing dog to just find out what needs to move in the body. So not being too strict. Just working into a bit of organic movement. Really focusing on that Ujjayi breath. Maybe you want to come to some stillness. You might even notice how the hamstrings feel a little bit different, maybe from your usual first downward facing dog. Navel to spine. As you inhale, the left foot comes to center, the right leg sweeps high into the sky. 3-leg dog, keeping the hips square first of all, finding that engagement through the hands. Then start to open the hips, so rotate that right hip up to the sky, and the right leg can start to extend over towards the left, so finding that nice stretch. Keeping the ribs closed down here, so we don't want to flare them out too much. An option to bend that right leg, coming into split hip dog opener. Couple of breaths. And draw that right knee all the way out to the sides. Take a big circle. Flex that right foot. Cross the right foot over the left thigh. So you're like you're in your figure four, but in your downward facing dog. Options to stay here. Option to rise onto the toe, bend the knee, or really bend into the knee, sink the sit bones back. Push away through the hands. Feel that nice, juicy stretch and that balance. Amazing. One breath. Nice, release that foot back down. Extend that right leg all the way back into the sky, 3-leg dog. Exhale, draw that right knee in towards the chest, push away through shoulders, and then step that right foot in between the hands. Lower the left knee down towards the back of the mat, keeping those toes curled under. Inhale, the arms reach high, draw the right hip back, left hip forward, find that stability. Interlace the hands, place them on the right knee. And as you exhale, allow the seat to drop a little bit here, but still keeping that stability through the hips. Feel like you're drawing opposite forces together here. And then go ahead and take your block if you need to, taking it to the outside of the right hip. Place the right hand onto the block or down towards the mat. And inhale that left arm up and over, coming into this nice side stretch. One more breath. Keeping those foundations. Then exhale, sweep the left arm forward. Maybe you want to take your block with you. Maybe place it back to the side. Grounding down the hands. Lift up that back leg. So it's like you're in this L-shaped standing split. Flexing through the foot if you want to. Keeping the hips square. Maybe the gaze goes forward. Inhale. As you exhale, bend the right foot. Plant the left foot down. Step right leg back to plank, take your vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or option to take full chaturanga. Exhale, lower. Inhale, come up over the toes, lift up bhujangasana, or maybe full up dog, opening through the chest, push down through the feet. Exhale, push back, Ardha Mukha. Breathe in here, come back to the breath. And same on the other side, so right foot comes to center. Inhale that left leg up to the sky. 3-leg dog, keeping the hips square. Maybe flexing the left foot. And then take another inhale as you open that left hip up to the sky. Keeping the legs straight first of all. Encouraging those ribs in. An option to bend that left foot. Split hip dog opener. Feeling strong through the hands, through the foot. And same as the other side, inhale, really take a big circle with that left leg, flex the left foot, cross it over, you're in your figure 4 down dog. Stay in here, come onto the toes or really bend into that right leg, pushing away through the hands. Finding that really juicy stretch, nice. Breathe in here. Planting that right foot down. Inhale, left leg sweeps high into the sky, 3-leg dog. Exhale, draw that left knee in towards the chest, arch through the back, then step the left foot in between the hands. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, interlace the hands, place them down on towards your left thigh. So Anjaneyasana, drawing left hip back, right hip forward. Finding the foundations and then allow your hips to melt down towards the mat, even if this is just a little bit. Lifting through that chest. An option to take the block to the outside of the left hip this time. Left hand plants down. The right arm sweeps up and over. Take that nice juicy side stretch here. Keeping grounding through the feet. Drawing action through the legs. One more breath. And sweep the right arm all the way around. Take the block if you need, otherwise plant the hands, frame that left foot. Shift the weight forward. Lift that right leg up to an L-shaped standing split. Keeping the hips square here. So maybe dropping that right hip down a little if you can. Inhale. Exhale. Bend into the left knee, step back with the right foot, step back with the left, you're in your plank, take your vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or full chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, really nice. Taking a couple deep breaths here. Taking some movement if you need to. Take slightly goes in between the hands. So option 2, step to Hanumanasana squat, so heels and toes out, or option to have a little play, maybe take a little jump so that our feet end up in Hanumanasana around the hand. Nice. So option to take a block as well if you need to here. Maybe give yourself that nice self-assist, drawing the elbows in towards the thigh, lifting up through the chest. Take a little bit of movement if you want. Then plant the hands down. Pivot the heels out so that your feet are in a straight line. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, start to heel toe those feet to center. So you're going to come into Hanumanasana. So 2 peace fingers and the thumb wrap around those big toes. Option to bend the knees deeper here or take a strap if you need. Inhale, roll shoulder blades down the back, lift, lengthen the chest. As you exhale, keep the broadening through the shoulder blades as you draw that torso towards the thighs. Again, really generous bend in the knees if you need to. And breathe in here. Slightly shifting the weight forward if you can. One more breath. On the exhale, release the hands. Heel toe the feet out to hips distance. Bend the knees, touching in towards the chest. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands through heart center. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh up through the mouth. Let it go. Nice. Gently blinking open the eyes. Working into our main flow now. So taking a vinyasa back to our downward facing dog. So we inhale, just a normal vinyasa. Exhale, hinge from your hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. Option to step or option to jump back to your bent arm chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Really nice, finding your foundations. So starting the same way, so step that left foot into center. We inhale, right leg reaches high into the sky, 3-leg dog. This time as you exhale, draw that right knee towards the chest, arch through the back, and then step that right foot all the way down, lowering the left knee down, keeping the back toes tucked. So taking the hands here, option to take blocks either side of you if you need to. We're going to work through our Asana to half Hanumanasana. So low lunge to half splits. So as you inhale, we keep the chest lifted. As you exhale, start to shift the body weight back, keeping a bend in the right leg if you need. Flex through that foot, draw it back. We'll take 2 more of these. So move in with your own flow, your breath. And then holding in your half Hanumanasana. So really grounding down through that right foot, drawing the right hip back. We have a tendency to sit back down here. We don't want to do that with this. We want to send the sit bones back in space and almost a slight tilt of the pelvis here, tilting it up. Cool. Options to stay here. Options to fold over that front leg. Or maybe you want to walk the hands all the way over to the right hand side, just to find a little bit of a deeper stretch through the outer right hip. Wherever you are, breathing with this sensation. Allowing this resistance to melt a little bit here. And then take it all the way back. Frame that front foot. We'll meet back in our low lunge. Keep the back toe tucked. Power down through the legs as we inhale. We rise all the way up, high lunge. And then circle the arms all the way back behind you. Hold it onto the hips. Bend generously into that left leg. Scoop that tailbone under. So you feel this really nice drawing down, opening through the left quad. Breathe in here. This might feel a little bit different. Then inhale, straighten through that front leg. Option to shift the feet a little bit wider, option to draw the back foot in. We're coming into a variation of pyramid. So we inhale, take the arms out long into our aeroplane. And as you exhale, start to shift forward and we hold in our aeroplane pyramid, drawing that right hip back. Inhale, exhale, lower again, and then hold in here. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, lower and hold. Really nice. Inhale, exhale. Option to take blocks beside you, option hands to hips, or if you want to, options to take the hands all the way down and in front of you, keeping up on that back leg as you draw the right hip back, feeling that nice juicy stretch. Inhale here. Exhale, breathe that tension away. And bending into the right leg from here, wherever you are, we'll meet down in a low lunge. Left hand plants beside the right foot. As you inhale, the right arm reaches high into the sky, easy twist. The right foot starts to heel toe itself down the mat, just outside of the hips. Come onto the knife edge of both feet. We inhale, lift up and over, feel that side body stretch. As you exhale, start to lower down through the hips, lowering all the way down onto the mat or hovering if you need. Inhale, lift it up. This time we're pivoting all the way around to Skandasana. So we start by pivoting that right foot. We pivot the left to follow. We can be on the ball of that right foot as we open out into this variation of Skandasana. So we're going to move through that transition of this open hip pose to Skandasana 3 more times, just to get a little bit of flow into the flow, feel that nice release. So from our Skandasana, planting left hand down, pivot the feet, come onto the knife edge, we inhale. Exhale, take it to Skandasana. Nice. 2 more with your own breath, adding your own little spin on it. Quite literally. Then meeting back in our Skandasana. Taking the hands down to the mat, shifting the body weight over, coming to Skandasana on the left side, still up on the ball of the foot. And breathing into this space. Plant the hands down in front of you and then lower the sit bones down towards the mat here. So coming into Trianga Mukha Pada Paschimottanasana, quite the mouthful. So from here, taking your hands beside you, start to lower that left leg down towards the mat, coming onto the top of that left foot and squaring through the hips. Options to take a blanket or anything you need to support you here if you're feeling you're quite leaning over towards the right. So getting anything that you need. Inhale, lift and lengthen, pushing down through that left foot. And as you exhale, start to hinge forward from your hips. And maybe starting to walk the arms down in front of you. You can have options to take hold of the wrist as well, whatever feels right for you. Breathe in here. On each inhale, can you create space? Maybe a little bit of lengthening forward. On each exhale, can you release? Final breath. And inhale, start to roll the body all the way up. The right hand from here plants beside you. So beside the right hip, the fingertips face towards the right. Draw that right foot in and come onto the ball of the right foot. Ground down through the right hand as you lift the hips up to the sky. So feeling this nice juicy quad stretch. Option to be quite expressive and take that left hand behind you, coming into a back bend, completely up to you. Inhale, create space. Exhale, release, lower the sit bones back down. This time the hands come in front of you, plant them down to the mat. As you extend that left leg high into the sky, this time coming into your standing splits. So options to take 2 blocks either side and using these for a bit of space. Either staying there or maybe you want to take the right hand around the back of the left calf and using that That's a little bit of resistance to draw your head closer towards your thigh. Keeping that left glute really engaged here, powering up through the left foot. Staying here, you can have a little bit of a balancing playful option by walking your hands all the way around to the outside of the right foot. Bending that left foot, keeping the left hand down. Can you reach around with that right hand to take that nice quad stretch? So completely optional, little bit of play. Breathe in, finding your drishti, your gaze. And wherever you are, releasing it back to standing splits. Start to peel the chest up, take the gaze forward. Plant the hands, bend the knees, step back to a plank pose and take your vinyasa. Inhale up facing dog or cobra. Exhale downward facing dog 9. Maybe give your hips a little pedal, a little shake out. And we'll take the same flow on the other side. So right foot steps to center. Inhale, the left leg reaches high into the sky, 3-leg dog. As you exhale, draw that left knee towards the chest, puff up through the heart, and then step the left foot in between the hands. Lower the right knee towards the mat. Toes are tucked. An option to take blocks, be underneath your hands for a bit more space. Going to work through the low lunge to half splits. So inhale, lift the chest, peel it up. Exhale, sit bones back, flex the left foot, half Hanuman. Take 2 more of these in your own time. Maybe you want to move really slow. Maybe you want to use this as a little bit of a wave here, encouraging the whole body into this action. And then meeting in your half splits. Again, grounding down through the left heel, drawing that left hip back, slight tilt up of the pelvis. Options to fold over, or options to walk your hands all the way to the outside of the left leg. Folding down here if you wish. Wherever you are, breathing, accepting where you are, enjoying it. Take it all the way back round, frame the front foot, bend into the left leg, back toe tuck to power you up, high lunge. Breathe in here. Take the arms all the way, big circle to the hips. Bend that right leg this time and really start to draw the pelvis under, feeling the stretch through the top of the right hip. Lifting high through the chest. Inhale, start to extend the left leg. We're on the back ball of the back foot. As you inhale, take the arms out, aeroplane. Option to move your feet to wherever you need to support you. We inhale, prepare. As you exhale, start to hinge over that left leg. Again, drawing that left hip back. Keeping a bend in the knee if you need. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, fold. Hold in here. Nice, you got this. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, fold. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, either taking hands to blocks, to the hips, or maybe you want to take the hands forward, lowering that head down towards the leg, keeping up on the back toes, drawing the left hip back. Breathing into this space. Inhale, lift the head, bend into that left leg. Wherever you are, we'll meet back in a low lunge and the right hand places down. We inhale, really lift that left hand up to the sky. Easy twist. Drop that left hip if you can. Then heel toe the left feet all the way down and we come onto the knife edge of both feet. Inhale, lift up, find that side body stretch. Exhale, lower down, hips towards the mat. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, plant the left hand, we pivot the left foot all the way around to the other side of the mat. We come into our skandasana. Maybe left hand is grounded, right hand reaches up. So taking that fluid transition again between this, we'll take it 3 times, however feels right for you. So right hand plants, knife edge, we open up. Exhale, skandasana. Working within your means, your breath. Maybe you only want to take one. That's absolutely fine. And then holding it on the third time you've taken your Skandasana. Plant the hands down, walk the hands all the way towards the back of the mat, come onto the ball of the right foot and take the Skandasana on the opposite side. Then plant the hands down in front of you on the mat and lower those sit bones down, coming into Mukha Pada Paschimottanasana on the other side. So squaring through the hips, draw that right leg in towards centre, so you're on the top of the right foot. The right sole of the foot is showing towards the sky. Again, taking anything you need underneath your sit bones here. Maybe giving yourself a little adjust. And then taking hands beside you, pushing down through the top of that right foot for support. Inhale. And then exhale, gently start to hinge forward, only if that feels comfortable for you. You can stay upright if that feels better. And accepting and knowing your body today. Knowing when to test the limit and knowing when to stop. Breathing into that back body, into that left hamstring. Flexing that left foot. Walk the hands all the way back to the seat. Take the left hand by the left hip, left fingertips facing away to the left. Take that left foot, plant it down, sole of the foot to the mat. Then drive through that left hand, lift the hips to come into this variation. So lifting up onto the ball of the left foot, driving those hips, open that chest, drop back the head if it feels nice, open the throat. Feel a nice sense of expansion here. Inhale. Exhale, release the right hand all the way down. Plant the right hand, plant the left hand in front of you. Ground it down and lift up through that left leg, coming into a full standing split. So again, taking the blocks, walking your hands back if you need. Take the right hand out to the side, the left hand behind the left thigh. So give yourself a little self-adjust here. Really squeezing and powering through that right glute in particular. Then playful option if you want to. Take the hands all the way around to the outside of the left foot. Right hand stays planted this time. Bend that left foot in and maybe the left hand can reach behind. Maybe you can wobble all over the place like me. Find your drishti, your gaze. And wherever you are, coming back to your standing split. Lifting up to that flat back. Bend into that left foot. Step the right foot back. Step the left. Adjust yourself if you need and take your vinyasa. Inhale up, dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Amazing. Take some deep breaths here. Maybe some nice sighs through the mouth. Maybe pedaling of those legs, of those hips, shaking yes and no of the head. To release any of that tension that might have built up in that flow. Okay, final little bit now, working towards our peak pose. So step the left foot in, inhale, the right leg reaches high to the sky. 3-leg dog. Exhale, this time step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. We're coming into lizard lunge. Nice, so the toes can be pivoted 45 degrees. And then maybe just take a little bit of movement here. So some rocks back and forth, some circles. Then options to stay here or options to lower down onto your forearms. You can keep your back toe tucked under if you like. A couple of nice options here. So you might want to take either on your hands or your forearm, the right arm all the way over and across. So this is a really nice open stretch. Or options if you want to have a little play with the balance. You can snuggle that right arm underneath, maybe take an aeroplane, maybe even bind your hands behind you onto your sacrum. So finding that power in the flexibility. So really just having a play and seeing where feels nice for you today. And wherever you are, coming all the way back to centre, and then coming up onto your hands, or you can stay on the forearms if you like. Then actively flex that left foot, start to draw the left foot in towards the left glute. But inhale, the right arm reaches all the way up and around. Maybe use the strap, or maybe you can catch that right foot. But instead of pushing away, taking the back bend, we're going to really start to, you can point the foot if you like actually, going to start to draw the foot towards the glute, deep stretch through the quad and squaring off through the body. Breathing into this sensation. And then releasing with control. Place the hand back down to the mat and start to heel toe the foot into the centre line. Okay, ready for our full Hanumanasana play now on the right side. So 3 options for you to build into here. So you might want to take your blocks and have them on either side of your hips, just in case. You can have them on any setting that feels right for you. So first option, you're quite familiar with it. We've already done it in the flow. Taking your hands to the floor or the blocks. We're just going to move through this low lunge, the half splits. So completely fine here, feeling that. If you feel like this is enough of a challenge and you really just want to work into this movement, please take this. Okay, option number 2. Again, using your blocks if you need to. Extend in same kind of position. Extend the right leg forward. But instead of straightening it, I like to take a bend in that right leg. So that same action of pulling right hip forward, right hip back, left hip forward, that is really the action we want to use in our splits. So we can take this here. Maybe you want to shift the back leg back a little bit. Important to keep the back toes tucked under here. So this can be a really nice active way to take this posture without really hyperextending and overstretching. You can even maybe take your hands to your hips for a little balance. And this is quite strong. If you feel ready, sliding that front foot forward, but keeping that back toe tucked today. So really finding the engagement and the activity in the legs to feel really supported in your full splits. So you might want to take the blocks if you need them. You might not. But really focus on this drawing action, feeling strong. Flex through the front foot if you can. Maybe you want to come onto your fists for extra support. Maybe you want to take your hands up to the sky if you feel comfortable here. Or folding over the front leg. Options to have a little play. Or wherever you are, you can untuck the back toe if you feel really supported. And when you have had enough, start to take your hands back to either your blocks or just in front of your hips. Tuck the back toe under, ground down through the hands, and we draw that front leg all the way back. Really nice. Come down into a low lunge, wherever you are. Start to make your way back to this slowly with control. Take as long as you need. And then step it back to plank. We'll take our vinyasa. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down facing dog. Amazing. Last little bit on this side. And then it's all down towards the chill. So step the right foot into center. Inhale, left leg reaches high. 3-leg dog. Exhale, start to take that left foot to the outside of the left hand. Pivot at 45 degrees if you need. We're in our lizard lunge left side. Again, take any nice little juicy movements that you need here. So any rocks back and forward. Any circles with the hips. Okay, options to lower down to your forearms if you have that, keeping your back toes tucked. Again, same little play as before, so any option, maybe taking the left hand over to the right, finding that deep stretch, taking the aeroplane arms, the bind, wherever you are. Just breathing into this space, focusing on the control of your breath. The smoothness of your breath. Nice, taking one more breath wherever you are. And we'll make our way back to our high lizard on our hands, lowering the back knee, flexing or pointing through the right foot. Start to draw the right foot towards the right glute. But inhale, the left arm reaches all the way up, takes a nice circle behind. And again, holding onto the ankle, but really starting to square through the chest here, through the shoulders. So we're getting a nice, really deep quad stretch. And releasing that foot with control, place the left hand back down. Shimmy that left foot into the center of the hand. We're ready for the other side. So again, really noticing that this side might feel completely different to the other side. And that's just all part of exploring how we feel and how our body is. So again, coming to each option, taking the blocks beside you, taking this nice lay lunge to half splits, taking the blocks or taking your hands and lowering down to this bent leg variation. So really drawing that heel down, left hip back, bending through the left knee. Or options to lower all the way down, keeping the back toe tucked first, finding that squareness in the hips. So each inhale, can you lengthen through the crown of the head? And on each exhale, can you maybe find a little bit more space? Keeping those legs active. Flexing through the left foot if in your full variation. Staying here. Option to untuck the back toes if you feel really safe and supported, or keep them here for something a bit different today. Maybe you want to take your arms up to the sky. Maybe you want to take a little fold over that front leg. Just honouring yourself, honouring your progress, your journey. Take one more deep breath here. And wherever you are, grounding your hands back towards your hips or just in front. Tuck under back toe and draw that left foot all the way back as gracefully as you can. Plant down the hands. Step it back. Take your final vinyasa. Inhale, maybe staying in your up dog or cobra. Feel that nice stretch through the top of the hips. And then exhale, take it back. Downward facing dog. Lower the knees. Take a closed leg child's pose. So drawing the torso down towards the mat. Arms beside you, palms facing up to the sky. Melting that forehead down. Just taking a moment to let everything absorb here. Letting go of what did or didn't happen. Sighing it out, releasing it however you wish. Start to bring some real softness into the body. Take your hands beside you and roll the body all the way back, seated. Plant the hands down to either side. We'll sit down onto one side of the sit bones and take the legs in front of you, coming into Hanumanasana. So moving a little bit of flesh out the way, taking any blankets or anything underneath you for a bit of additional support. Options to take your strap around your feet. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the chest. As you exhale, start to hinge forward from your hips. Really focusing on lengthening through that spine now. Options to bend your knees as well. The hamstrings have done a lot of work. So if you want to take it a bit more restoratively, then you're most welcome. And instead of focusing on dropping down, can you think on each inhale that you're pushing back with your sit bones to allow you to reach a little bit more forward, and then each exhale, drop into it a little bit more. Take one final breath here. Then slowly as you need, walking fingertips all the way back, curling the chest, the head, up back to the sky. Maybe shifting the sit bones a little bit. We're coming back to lie down on our backs, which I'm sure you'll be happy about. So taking your hands out in front of you, we'll come down with a little bit of core control. So a little scooping of the tailbone and then gently lowering down towards the mat, grounding down through those heels. Keeping that little bit of control, feel that connection of each vertebrae, making connection to the mat. Nice, and then when you get there, draw your knees in towards your chest, maybe give yourself a little bit of movement. Then flexing the feet, take the feet up to the sky, your feet are about hips distance or wider. Then you can either hold on to wrap your arms around and hold on to the shins. You can take hold of the ankles, or maybe you can take hold of outside of each foot, coming into happy baby, inhale. And exhale, grounding down through that tailbone, connecting to the mat. And then drawing your knees towards the ground, towards the shoulders. Again, take a little bit of free movement here. So any rocks that you need, maybe extending one leg, maybe the other. Maybe you've had enough in the hamstrings and we just want to take a nice bit of opening in this way. Maybe close down the eyes. Really taking note of everything that you feel. Maybe feeling a little bit less and less resistance in this pose. Maybe the hands can become a little bit heavier, the arms a bit softer. You just really allow yourself to sink in. Draw your knees back in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice squeeze. Options to take a little twist to either side, nice little supine twist, or options to come straight into your Shavasana if you feel like you are ready. So wherever you are, taking any little final poses that you may personally want to take. And when you're ready, we'll all meet back in Shavasana. So taking legs to either side of the mat, feet are heavy. Maybe interlace the hands, lift that neck towards the chest, create that space, nestle those shoulder blades under. Feel that opening through the heart as you place the hands down, palms facing up to the sky. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And exhale, really let it go. Not holding on to anything here. Releasing the breath to its most natural state. Really melting down into the mat. Noticing the earth connect to each and every part of the back of your body. Holding you here in space. Really dropping into this moment of relaxation. This moment to absorb. I invite you to stay in your Shavasana for however long that you need. If you want to pause and then come back to this, you're most welcome. If you're ready to bring yourself back, then start to bring some movement into the fingertips, into the toes. Maybe starting to deepen into the breath. Turning your head from side to side. Be awakening the body. And taking any nice juicy stretches that will really serve you right now. Waking yourself back up in a nice way that feels right and organic for you. Maybe resting over onto one side and just taking a little moment here. And however you wish, guiding yourself back up gently, slowly. Start to make your way back to a comfortable seated position on your mat. Taking your hands together in prayer Anjali Mudra and placing your thumb at your heart center. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out. I'd like to offer you out a quote today to carry with you maybe for the rest of your day or maybe the rest of your week. Trust the way. Embrace the uncertainty. Enjoy the beauty of becoming. When nothing is certain, anything is possible. So allow that to sink in. Taking your thumb to your third eye center now, the space between your eyebrows. The divine light within me honors and reflects the divine light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you had a little bit of fun with that, and you can always revisit it and maybe notice this nice journey and this nice progression within yourself and just honouring that. Cool. Yeah, hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.